And welcome everybody to the Uncanny X-Men. My name is Philip Tanzer, and today I'm going to give you a quick introduction into the men's rights movement and men's issues, because that's something I'm going to talk about a lot here on this channel. I do apologize if I sometimes use the wrong words or if I get something wrong, but I'm originally German, and English is my second language. You probably never heard about the men's rights movement, and you're not aware of a lot of men's issues, and that has a good reason, because our society usually focuses on the problems that women face, and it's absolutely fine to highlight these issues and to do something about all the problems that women face, but we should not ignore and completely ignore the problems that men face in our society, but that's in big parts what's happening. And that's why there is the men's rights movement. These are men who try to bring a focus to these issues and change certain laws that discriminate against men. I don't want to go into too many details in this video because I'm going to focus on all these things in the future. Here are just a couple of things that the men's rights movement is concerned with. Male victims of domestic violence, custody laws that discriminate against men, high suicide rate amongst boys and men, mental health issues that are not being specifically treated for men, the fact that men have more health issues but less funding in society, homelessness and unemployment, sexual problems like erectile dysfunction and sexual abuse, genital mutilation, so circumcision, fatherlessness and the absence of male role models, an overall negative view on masculinity in our society nowadays, social pressure on men without getting a lot of appreciation anymore, masculine identity issues, boys falling behind in education, and these are just some examples, some issues that the men's rights movement focuses on. There are other ones, like for example the justice system that discriminates against men, and there are plenty more. There are a lot of people here on YouTube that are much better than me talking about these issues, because they get all the data. They are incredibly good at researching and highlighting the issues. One of them is Girl Writes What here on YouTube. She does great videos, great content about the issues that men face. I actually got into the men's rights movement through her channel. But the best way to learn more about the men's rights movement is to watch the documentary The Red Pill, made by a young woman called Cassie Jaye, and she was a feminist, and usually there is an ongoing feud between feminists and the men's rights movement, and when Cassie was a feminist, she heard a lot of negative things about the men's rights movement, and she wanted to do a documentary about these bad guys from the men's rights movement, and while she was doing the documentary, she learned more and more about the real issues that men face. So I can highly recommend the movie The Red Pill if you are interested in learning a little bit about the men's rights movement. You can also watch the TED Talk that Cassie Jaye did. You can find it here on YouTube as well. I became a part of the men's rights movement about a year ago. It started with listening to Girl Writes What, and then I watched The Red Pill. And a couple of weeks ago I was at my first International Men's Issues Conference in London, which was an amazing experience. I got to hang out with so many people that I already knew through YouTube, and I was able to talk to a lot of normal guys like myself that are concerned with men's issues, and it was a very diverse group. unfortunately, after the conference, which was a really positive event, there were quite a few articles written about the conference that were just hit pieces and that portrayed the conference and us completely wrong. And there was even an interview. There was an interview with me where I was portrayed as a misogynistic, horrible person who views women as walking wombs and who doesn't care about the suffering of women in the porn industry. All of these were complete misrepresentations of who I am and what I said. Luckily, I recorded the whole interview and I corrected the interview afterwards on the internet. Unfortunately, most people only read the original article and not what I had to say about it afterwards. So when you look up the men's rights movement, please be aware that there are a lot of people out there that try to discredit the movement, but be also aware that within the movement, just like every other movement, there are people that have stronger views and people that are that have softer views. There are people within the men's rights movement that I disagree with, very few actually, but there are also people where I agree with what they say, but I don't agree with how they say it, because sometimes people use very strong language, and even though the message might be right, the language is wrong. So please don't be completely put off if you stumble across something from the men's rights movement where the language is too strong. That does not discredit the whole movement, it really doesn't. So that's it for today. Just a very quick introduction. I'm gonna leave some links underneath this video to Girl Writes What and to the Red Pill movie. And I hope to see you in the next video. The next video will actually be about the men's rights conference that I attended, because one of the speakers really rubbed me the wrong way and I had big problems with what he had to say, and that's what the next video is going to be about. Till then, all the best. See you guys.